There was once a rich man and a poor man. But it doesn't really matter that they were rich and they were poor. The important thing was that the rich man was a bully, and he just did whatever he wanted to do, and he treated people badly, and he cheated on his taxes, and he was corrupt in his ways. And there was a poor man who just loved God and served him and did his best, and in fact gave his life to Jesus Christ. When the time came, he heard the gospel and he gave his life to Jesus Christ, and he wasn't that really bothered about making money. He was just concerned to love God with all his heart and with all his soul and with all his mind and with all his strength, and to love his neighbour as himself, because he knew that's what God liked. And he knew that it said in the Bible, what does the Lord require of you? But to love mercy, do justly, and walk humbly. And so he loved mercy and did justly and walked humbly before God. Whereas the rich man was a bully and just got things by exploitation of other people. Well, they were talking one day about what would happen when they died. And so the poor man said, well, when you die, you have to go to heaven. Well, you go to before God, and you have to have a ticket, and what is on your ticket will depend on where you spend eternity. So the rich man said, I haven't got a ticket. How do you get a ticket? So the poor man said, well, I've got a ticket. So the rich man grabbed him before he had a chance to say how he got his ticket and said, give me some of your ticket. Give me some of your ticket now. I want some of that ticket. And so the poor man, who was afraid of the rich man and the bully, said, well, okay. So he began to tear off a little bit of his ticket to give it to the rich man. And so he tore it off very carefully and said, well, this isn't actually the way to get the ticket, but I can tell you the right way to get it. I don't want to hear the right, I just want some of your ticket, said the rich man, the bully. So he took it. And the poor man was a bit sad, but anyway, they met again a little bit later. And the rich man said, I don't think I got enough of your ticket. You didn't give me very much. I think that's unfair. You give me more of your ticket, because I don't think I've got enough to get into heaven. So the poor man, again, was a little bit scared of him. And so he said, all right, I can tell you how to get your own ticket if you want. I don't want to hear how to get my own ticket. I just want some of your ticket. You've got a ticket. Give me some of your ticket. So the poor man, who was still very afraid of him, tore off some more of his ticket and gave it to the rich man. And so the rich man went away happy, thinking he's got at least as much as the poor man. Well, of course, the time came when they both died. And the rich man, in fact, went before God first. And God said, well, your future depends on what ticket you've got. So the rich man said, well, that's no problem. I know I've got a ticket, here's mine. God said, well, it depends what's written on your ticket. That's the important thing, what is written on your ticket. That will determine your eternal destiny. Let me see your ticket. So the rich man said, here's my ticket then. So God begins to unfold it to see what he's got written on his ticket. Because not every ticket has the same thing written on it. But the rich man's not bothered. He knows he's got a ticket, and so he's sure that everything's going to be okay. So God says it all depends on what's written on your ticket. Your eternal destiny depends on that. Now, what have we got here? So he started to put the pieces of his ticket together, and this is what his ticket said. So God said, I'm very, very sad, and I'm very sorry you wouldn't listen to how to get the proper ticket. The ticket you've got determines your eternal destiny. Depart from me. And so he went off. Then the poor man came in next, and God said, well, where's your ticket? And the poor man said, here's my ticket, Father God. So God says, well, let's see what's on your ticket, and that will determine your eternal destiny. So he handed over his ticket, and God opened it up, and he said, come in, my child, and inherit the kingdom prepared for you. You believed on my son.